Good morning, Kimberbellas. Cristin Som here. Actually, by the time that you see this video, it will not be morning. But anyway, I'm starting in the morning. So today we're going to do candy corn quilt shop, and a couple things to note. First off, thank you to my buddy, my Kimberbell buddy Luz, for talking me into getting a tripod. Look at no hands. I don't have to hold my phone, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, so candy corn quilt shop. So before we do candy corn quilt shop, we have to do dimensional pennants, and for that we're going to use that pretty gold leather. I haven't done mine yet, obviously, but one thing that I noticed in the group is some people were saying that they had trouble when they take the tape off. It is tearing their leather. I'm surprised because it's not super thin. It's kind of thin, I guess. But so be careful with that. So it's kind of nice to not be the first doing things so that we can learn from those before us. So anyway, so make your dimensional pennants. It looks to be pretty easy, 4x2. We don't need to do anything to it. So one hoop should be done, but you have to do that before you start candy corn quilt shop. So for candy corn quilt shop, we're going to start with our main fabric at 8.5 by 10.5, and as always, back it with fusible mesh stabilizer or SF101. I've been using SF101 lately, and I like it. It's easier to adhere than fusible mesh. The only thing is that I don't use it under clothing, and I do a lot of clothing for my grandkids, so I use fusible mesh for that. It's thinner and softer, and you can see I do a lot of applique and embroidery shirts to have fun with my grandkids. So I keep both on hand. So then you need batting. I use Warm and Natural. Use whatever works for you. I cut that usually about an inch smaller. So if it's 8.5 by 10.5, I cut 7.5 to 9.5 for my batting. But there is a Kimberbell guide of exactly what you should be using, so you can use that guide. It's just easy to cut it a little smaller. So then we're going to have our applique fabrics. There's a couple, the yellows for the windows and the black, and this pretty swirly one. I like this. I think this is from Boardwalk, which I haven't done yet. I'm excited to do that one. And then this purple home fabric. This is from, I'm kicking my tripod. Sorry. This is from Make Yourself at Home, I think, or the design itself is. I'm not sure if the color was. But anyway, this is on back order at a lot of places. Mine's been on back order forever. And my friend Cristin at Daylily Fabric Shop gave me a few of her scraps. So I lucked out. So I've got mine. If you don't have this and you've been waiting on it, you can use another purple, or you can wait until yours comes in. It doesn't matter too much. But since I'm doing the official tutorial, I wanted to try and use the official products as much as possible. So it's this one with the flowers on it. So we need that, and then we need from our embellishment kit our clear vinyl, don't know if you can see that, and our iridescent mylar, and our black glitter, and our white felt again. So for the white felt, I have this theory, do as I say, not as I do, and I have not been changing my bobbin back to black for the wording on felt, and did okay on the first one. On Broomhild, I wasn't super impressed with it, so I'm gonna change my bobbin if it calls for it. I haven't gone through all the instructions yet, but if it calls for it on this one, I'm gonna do it. So do what works for you. So the important part is that we are gonna final cut down to 6.5 by 8.5. So that means that we want our quilting design to be 6 by 8. So I am going to use the spooky lines. I think it's just called lines, but it's in the Halloween set. Not that there is a set, but there's a regular lines, and then there's a what I call spooky lines because they're a little bit like wild. So it is the KDQ016. You can get it at mykimberbell.com. And today I'm going to use my 7 by 12 hoop. A lot of these, I've been using my 6x10 hoop, and that's great because then I don't have to take out the basting stitches. But for the ones that go off the edge, like this lines one, I prefer to have that line. Don't know why, just a personal preference. So if you use your 6x10 hoop, same as always of the past tutorials, you would just take out steps 3 and 4, which is the placement line and basting stitch for the main fabric, and then it'll fit in your 6x10 hoop just fine. And I think that's it. I'm going to use my 7x12 hoop. I'm going to use the spooky lines for my quilting. And this is our 5th block. We're doing great. And everybody did so good this weekend catching up. I'm really proud of you. Good job. All right, we're good to go. Let's go. So I wanted to point out, I'm using tearaway on this for the banner or dimensional pennant. That's what it was called. So I'm also using a, what did they call it? A thread, that doesn't matter. I don't remember what they called it. Something similar to the fabric, which is that gold leather. We're going to cut each of the pieces away, so the thread is not going to matter, just so you know, but just something that you'll be able to see so that you can cut. And let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so this is done, and just take it out, and we're going to cut right inside of each of those lines. So like I said, the thread doesn't matter, but this is what it looks like. It takes like a minute to stitch these out. Nice and easy. That's it. Okay, now you're going to want to load your Candy Corn Quilt Shop design. As I mentioned, you can either do the quilting first and then do the design, or you can merge the two. If you merge the two, make sure to bring the design down to the bottom of the batting line. If you do them separately, you'll need to move it on your machine manually, and I showed how to do that in Boo-levard 1, so you can find the tutorial there for that. I've had a lot of questions about my thread and what color I'm using for my quilting. I'm using the Boo-levard thread kit. See it there, hopefully. Sorry, I'm just getting used to this tripod, so bear with me. So the one that I'm using for my quilting is called Cool Gray 10CG9 by Glide. If you have what is it, glow-in-the-dark thread, I would go for that. I think that's super cool. I decided not to do it because I thought it'd be hard to see on a tutorial, so I've chosen this dark gray. I think that it's coming out great and I'm loving it. But I am using the Glide thread kit for Boo-levard. So let's get started. you.